Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. We will talk about lesson 3, soil component. What is the soil? What about its component? And the soil are very important in our daily life. The soil is very important to all living organisms, human, animal, and plant. But what is the soil? Soil are found in everywhere which we can plant any seeding in it. Soil are very different in its texture, color, smooth, and it has many granular rocks and very different substances from each other. Soil contains many things such as rocks, water, and deep living organisms that found inside the soil. This is also called humus. What is the humus? Humus, it is the decayed remain of deep living organisms' bodies inside the soil. This humus is very important to the soil. Why? Because humus add nutrients to the soil. Humus has a special color. Humus has its own color, maybe dark brown or black. But what is the soil made of? Soil is made of more than pieces of rocks, granular, and many living organisms that found inside the soil, which when they are deep, they turn into humus. But soil is very important for everything in our environment component, such as soil is very important to the plant. We can't plant any seeds without finding any soil. So the soil is the base which we can plant seeds inside. Then the plant grow. When the plant grow, the human and the animal need to this plant to feeding. So the soil is very important to living of plant, human, and animal. This soil has many very important for these living organisms, and we know that what happens if we haven't soil. Usually, if we haven't soil, there is no plant, and there is no animal, and the human can't live. So the soil is very important component in our environment. Soil is very important in our environment, yes, and it contains very important substances. At the top, soil contains humus, that we say it is very important decayed remain of deep living organisms, and it has very important nutrients to planting in seeds. Number 2, soil contains water, and it is very important in the component of the soil. Number 3, soil contains small of mud, particles of mud, and small amount of sand, and small particles of rocks, and large particles of sand and gravels. So soil is very important to all these living organisms, human, animal, plant. But the soil is very important, and the living organisms that found inside the soil, such as if we have a leaf of plant that fall on the soil, what happened to the leaf? The leaf can decay. and change into humus. That is very important inside the soil component. Number 2, soil have many living organisms such as spider, earthworm, and other insects that live inside the soil, and they dig tunnels. These tunnels allow to water, allow to air to bath inside the soil, and it is very important to the soil and make the soil very humus, make the soil very important. When these living organisms decayed after death and change into humus, that's very important inside the soil. So, as we see, humus that is formed are add nutrients to the soil. So, we can say that the soil contains many things, and the very important thing inside the soil is humus and salt, which are very important for growing any plant inside the soil. The soil that we can plant seed inside has many layers. Number 1, the upper layer. The upper layer, which contain many things such as root of some plants, rocky leaf, earthworm. This layer, which is upper layer, contain roots of the plant, which can vary or can make water and make nutrients from the soil. This root also can change after time when the plant die, can change into humus, and this humus can benefit the plant or the seed inside the soil. A root of some plants add these nutrients to the soil, and the earthworm and spider, they can make very important nutrients to the soil. So, when any living organisms die inside the soil and decayed into humus, it called humus, which are very important and benefit to the living organisms inside. Some insects dig this tunnel inside the soil, and they do many important things inside the soil and lie egg inside the soil. So when these living organisms after a few time or a part of time die, they change into humus. So we can summarize all these things in. Number 1, what is the soil? Soil, it is a superficial layer that covers earth's crust. Then, what is the soil component? Soil contains, number 1, humus, water, air, salt, gravels, some small rocks, and some granular. What about the soil living organisms? Soil is very important to all living organisms. When we want to plant any seedling, we need the soil. So the soil is very main source to plant. We need this soil to the plant. This plant is very important to the human and the animal. So without soil, we can't planting, and human. Animal can't found their feeding, and we can't live without this soil. Number 3, what is the soil living organisms? Soil living organisms such as earthworm, some types of insect, spider, and small living organisms which take the soil as a home or shelter. These living organisms inside the soil, they all when they die, they change into humus. This humus is very important to the planting and add nutrients to the soil. Then, what about the humus? Humus, it is the decayed remain of dead living organisms inside the soil, and the humus usually take its own color, which is dark brown or black. We can say soil differ in its type. We can say soil is very important to these living organisms. We can say soil is main component in our environment. It is very important in our life, such as air, such as water. It is very important inside this environment which we live on the earth. When living organisms even live of the plant, any small animal, any small insect which die and change into humus, it is called humus and it is benefit. Benefit to living organism, benefit to soil, benefit to the plant which need this humus to grow. Humus mean the soil contain a special element and material which the plant and the seed need to grow and make a complete plant, which we need this plant to the human and the animal. What about the layer of the soil? Soil contains 3 layers. Number 1, top soil layer. Number 2, lower soil layer. Number 3, rocky layer. Top soil layer, which contain root of the plant, which contain small insects, which contain some types of dead living organisms, and contain large amount of the humus, and it take the color of dark brown or black, which is color of humus. Number 2, lower layer, which contain less amount of humus, which contain less amount of living organisms, and it is beneath the lower or beneath the top layer of the soil. The third one, which is called rocky soil, and it is the least layer, and it contains large amount of gravels or rocks and a few amount of humus, or there is no humus, so it is not enough to planting and benefit the root of the plant to planting in soil. So the soil layer are 3 types. Number 1, top soil layer. Number 2, lower soil layer. Number 3, rocky layer. Thank you.